You wake up slower, your body feels stiff, you feel less sharp, less motivated, and maybe even a little disconnected from the man you used to be. If you're over 60, this might sound familiar. You eat well, try to stay active, maybe even take vitamins. But something still feels off, especially when it comes to circulation, energy, and performance. Here's the truth most of them never hear from their doctor. After 60, your body's ability to circulate blood efficiently, especially to sensitive areas, begins to decline. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens quietly, gradually, meal by meal, habit by habit. And it has nothing to do with aging alone. It has everything to do with how you start your day. What if one simple change to your morning routine could support your blood flow, energy, and vitality, not just in your muscles, but in the places that matter most to you as a man? New research shows that certain nutrients, when consumed early in the day, have a powerful effect on nitric oxide production, the compound responsible for opening up blood vessels and improving circulation throughout the body. That includes your brain, your heart, and yes, your performance down there. But most men eat the wrong foods in the morning. They skip breakfast entirely, or they load up on carbs and caffeine, setting themselves up for a crash in energy, mood, and blood flow before lunch. Today we'll break down the morning food that supports healthy circulation where it matters most, and how to combine it with the right habits to restore your energy, stamina, and confidence after 60. You'll learn why this natural food improves blood flow, how it supports hormone balance, and what common mistake ruins its benefits if you're not careful. Tip number 3 is something most men overlook, but it could make or break your results. And the last tip is the one thing to remove from your breakfast if you want to stay strong and sharp throughout the day. Let's begin with a food that researchers now call nature's circulation booster. Most men ignore it, but it might be the most powerful thing you can put on your plate before 9 a.m. When most men think about improving circulation, they picture medications, supplements, or exercises. But few realize that what you eat first thing in the morning can make or break your blood flow for the entire day. And there's one category of food that stands out above the rest. Nitrate-rich plants, beets, spinach, arugula, celery, and lettuce may not sound like typical male vitality foods, but they're some of the most powerful tools nature gives us for boosting nitric oxide, the molecule that relaxes and opens blood vessels. This expansion improves blood flow not only to your heart and brain, but also to the areas responsible for intimacy, stamina, and hormonal health. Let's take beets as a prime example. Beets are packed with dietary nitrates. When you eat them, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, which then signals your blood vessels to dilate. This process is called vasodilation, and it's one of the key drivers behind healthy blood pressure and performance. One study from the University of Exeter showed that drinking beetroot juice significantly improved blood flow and endurance in older adults, even after just a few days. Another study found that a single serving of beets could reduce blood pressure within hours. But it's not just about pressure, it's about delivery. Better circulation means more oxygen, more nutrients, and better hormonal signaling throughout the entire body. And it starts with breakfast. Most men wake up and reach for toast, cereal, or coffee. These offer quick energy but little support for circulation. Instead, imagine starting your day with something like this: a smoothie made with cooked beets, frozen berries, a handful of spinach, and a scoop of protein. Or a breakfast bowl with eggs, arugula, and a side of cooked beet slices with olive oil and lemon. You're giving your body exactly what it needs to open up the blood vessels, power your brain, and support stamina all day long. If you don't like the taste of beets, try mixing them into smoothies with berries and banana to soften the flavor. You can also use beetroot powder, which is concentrated and mixes easily with protein shakes. The timing matters too. Your body is more insulin sensitive and receptive to nutrients in the morning. By consuming nitrate-rich foods before noon, you maximize the nitric oxide production window and give your blood vessels what they need when they're most ready to respond. There's another benefit as well. Nitrate-rich vegetables also support mitochondrial efficiency, helping your cells create more energy with less effort. That means better stamina for walking, exercise, or intimacy later in the day. But here's the catch. If you combine these foods with the wrong type of breakfast, you can block their benefits entirely. And that's what we'll cover in the next section, where many men make a common mistake with fat that silently lowers their testosterone and circulation levels without even realizing it. You may have heard that eating lean protein is good for your muscles, your metabolism, and your heart. And that's true. But if you're skipping fat entirely, especially at breakfast, you could be weakening one of the most important systems in your body, your hormones. After 60, testosterone production naturally declines. That's part of aging, but it doesn't have to lead to weakness, low drive, or reduced performance. The key is not trying to force testosterone up. It's removing the habits that suppress it and supporting the natural signals your body uses to keep it steady. One of the most powerful of those signals comes from fat, specifically healthy dietary fats combined with protein in the morning. Here's the problem. Many men over 60 still follow outdated advice to eat fat-free or low-fat foods, especially at breakfast. They start their day with egg whites, toast, cereal, or a smoothie with fruit and water. No fat, no oil, no seeds, no yolk. And without fat, your hormone system doesn't get the message. Testosterone is a fat-derived hormone. Your body uses cholesterol and saturated fat as the raw material to produce it. Without enough of these building blocks, and without the dietary signal that fat provides, your endocrine system slows down. That can mean lower drive, less motivation, reduced muscle mass, and sluggish recovery. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology, Metabolism showed that men who consumed a higher fat diet had significantly higher testosterone levels compared to those on low-fat diets, even when calories were equal. Another study found that eating whole eggs instead of egg whites increased both testosterone and muscle protein synthesis in older men. The fix is simple. Stop fearing fat and start eating the right kinds in the right amounts. Here's what a testosterone-friendly breakfast could look like. 2 whole eggs cooked in extra virgin olive oil, a slice of whole grain toast with natural peanut butter, or a smoothie with chia seeds, nut butter, and full-fat Greek yogurt. This combination gives you protein, healthy fat, and sustained energy, without the sugar crash or hormonal dip that comes from low-fat meals. If you're worried about cholesterol, know this. Dietary cholesterol does not automatically raise blood cholesterol. The connection is much weaker than once believed. In fact, full-fat eggs, yogurt, and even red meat, when consumed as part of a balanced diet, can support hormonal health without increasing cardiovascular risk in healthy individuals. More importantly, fat slows digestion and provides lasting satiety. That helps reduce cravings later in the day, regulate insulin levels, and maintain mental clarity. And it keeps your energy and circulation steady, especially in the hours when most men experience dips in focus and vitality. Think of fat as the amplifier for your body's internal signals. It helps your hormones function, your brain fire more clearly, and your circulation stay open and responsive. When you remove fat from your morning routine, you're removing one of your greatest allies. But even if you add healthy fat and nitrate-rich foods to your morning, there's another piece most men are missing. It's not a food, it's a micronutrient that quietly supports blood flow, energy production, and testosterone. And it's one of the most common deficiencies in men over 60. That's what we'll explore next. You can eat the right foods. You can adjust your fat intake, balance your protein, and even improve your blood flow. But if one key vitamin is missing, all of that effort might fall short. That vitamin is vitamin D, often called the sunshine vitamin. Vitamin D plays a much bigger role than most people realize, especially in men over 60. It supports immune function, bone density, brain health, and mood. But its impact on hormones and circulation is what makes it especially important for male vitality. Low levels of vitamin D have been directly linked to low testosterone, reduced nitric oxide production, and impaired vascular function. In simple terms, when your vitamin D levels are low, it becomes harder for your blood vessels to relax and harder for your body to produce the hormones that drive energy, performance, and desire. This is a silent problem. Because vitamin D doesn't cause obvious symptoms at first, many men go years without realizing their levels are low. Fatigue, muscle weakness, low motivation, and even mild depression can all be early signs, but most chalk them up to aging and move on. A major study published in the journal Hormone and Metabolic Research found that men with sufficient vitamin D levels had significantly higher testosterone than men who were deficient. Another study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that vitamin D supplementation improved vascular elasticity, helping arteries respond better to blood flow demands. Here's the catch. After age 60, your ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight drops sharply. Your skin becomes less efficient at converting UV rays into usable D3, and you may spend less time outdoors. Add sunscreen, long sleeves, or cloudy weather into the mix, and even an hour outside may not be enough. That's why many experts now recommend that older adults supplement vitamin D, especially during the fall and winter months. Or if you live in a northern climate, the recommended dose varies by person, but most men over 60 benefit from 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 per day, ideally taken with a meal that contains fat. Your doctor can confirm your levels with a simple blood test and guide you toward the right dose for you. You can also get small amounts of vitamin D from food. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines, egg yolks, and fortified dairy or plant milks contain some D3, but food sources alone are usually not enough to restore low levels. Here's how to combine it all. Wake up and take your vitamin D3 supplement with a fat-containing breakfast. Add in nitrate-rich vegetables or a beet smoothie. Include protein and a source of zinc, like pumpkin seeds or pasture-raised eggs, to support testosterone even further. That simple routine supports your circulation, hormones, and mood from the moment you wake up. There's one more bonus tip here. Zinc is another nutrient many men over 60 don't get enough of, and it works hand in hand with vitamin D to support testosterone and immune function. You can get zinc from oysters, beef, pumpkin seeds, and eggs, or take a daily supplement with 10 to 20 milligrams. When you combine vitamin D, zinc, and morning fat, you send a strong signal to your body, one that says it's time to build, repair, and function like a younger man. But nutrients alone aren't enough. Your blood flow also depends on your movement, and what you do in the first 30 minutes of your day can dramatically improve your circulation, especially to the areas that matter most. That's what we'll explore next. You've added the right food. You've focused on healthy fat. You're getting more vitamin D and zinc. But there's something else that unlocks all of those benefits, and it doesn't come in a bottle or on a plate. It's movement. Specifically, light movement within the first 30 minutes after waking up. After age 60, circulation becomes less responsive. Your blood vessels lose some of their elasticity, your heart rate takes longer to rise, and your extremities, including your hands, feet, and pelvic region, may receive less blood during rest. This leads to that familiar feeling of stiffness, sluggishness, or numbness in the morning. Here's the simple truth. Your body needs a signal to start circulating. When you move your muscles even gently, they send a message to your heart and vascular system to increase blood flow. That movement also tells your brain to raise alertness, support digestion, and start producing energy. Without that signal, your system remains in a slow, low-functioning state for longer than it should. This isn't about exercise. It's about mobility and activation. You don't need to jog or lift weights. A short 5 to 10 minute routine can dramatically improve blood flow, brain function, and even performance down there. Here's a sample routine. Hydrate. Start your day with 10 to 12 ounces of filtered water. Add a pinch of sea salt or a splash of lemon to support electrolyte balance. Dehydration is one of the fastest ways to slow blood flow, especially in the morning. Stand and stretch. Do gentle shoulder rolls, neck circles, and hip openers. Loosen up your joints and activate large muscle groups. March or walk in place. Even 2 minutes of slow marching helps pump blood from your legs back to your core and brain. If weather allows, go outside for a short walk and expose your eyes to natural light, which also supports your circadian rhythm and testosterone production. Focus on the lower body. Simple movements like squats to a chair, heel raises, or leg swings activate the muscles that support balance, mobility, and pelvic blood flow. These movements increase nitric oxide production, stimulate lymphatic drainage, and help deliver oxygen and nutrients throughout your body. Most importantly, they prime your system to absorb the nutrients you'll eat at breakfast, making your food work harder for you. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology showed that just 6 minutes of light movement in the morning significantly improved endothelial function, which is the ability of your blood vessels to relax and expand. Another study from Japan found that older adults who walked for 10 minutes each morning had better memory, blood sugar control, and vascular elasticity than those who waited until later in the day to move. And if intimacy is part of your health goals, this habit matters even more. Pelvic circulation responds directly to full-body blood flow. When you stimulate your muscles early in the day, you're not only boosting energy and mental clarity, you're also supporting healthy function where it counts. If you struggle with joint pain or stiffness, try starting with seated movements. Ankle rolls, knee lifts, shoulder circles, and neck stretches can still provide gentle circulation support without stress. What matters most is consistency. By combining hydration, light movement, and nutrient-dense breakfast habits within the first hour of your day, you're creating a system, one that supports everything from stamina and focus to cardiovascular health and hormone balance. But there's one thing that can ruin all of this. One common food that seems harmless, even healthy, but quietly sabotages your blood flow, crashes your energy, and drains your drive. Let's fix that next. You've learned what to eat, how to move, and which nutrients support your energy and circulation. But there's one common mistake that can undo it all, and it's hiding in plain sight on breakfast tables across the country. It's refined carbohydrates. Toast, muffins, bagels, sugary cereals, fruit juice, and even so-called healthy granola bars can spike your blood sugar quickly after waking, and while they may give you a temporary boost, that energy fades fast, leaving you tired, foggy, and with weakened circulation within just a few hours. Here's what happens inside your body. When you eat refined carbs on an empty stomach, your blood sugar rises rapidly. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin, a hormone that clears glucose from your blood and stores it as fat or energy. But when that insulin spike is too sharp, your blood sugar drops just as fast. This creates the crash, a dip in energy, focus, motivation, and blood flow. It also increases cravings later in the day, promotes fat storage, and suppresses your body's natural hormone production. That includes testosterone and nitric oxide, two of the most important factors in male performance and vitality. Even worse, many of these breakfast foods contain seed oils like soybean or canola oil, which promote inflammation and oxidative stress in the blood vessels. This leads to stiffness, poor circulation, and greater risk of heart issues over time. A study in the journal Nutrition Research found that men who consumed a high breakfast, meaning one rich in fast-digesting carbs, had higher levels of fatigue, lower testosterone, and more difficulty maintaining concentration throughout the day. The solution isn't to skip breakfast entirely. That often leads to overeating later and doesn't solve the underlying problem. The key is to build a low-glycemic, protein-rich breakfast that stabilizes blood sugar and fuels your system gradually. Here are examples of what to avoid: white toast with jam or jelly, sweetened cereal or instant oatmeal packets, fruit juice or smoothies made only from fruit, flavored yogurts with added sugar, granola bars or breakfast biscuits labeled low-fat or heart-healthy. Instead, swap in these better options: eggs cooked in olive oil with a side of greens, Greek yogurt with chia seeds and berries, a protein shake with nut butter, flaxseed, spinach, and half a banana, coated cheese with pumpkin seeds and a drizzle of olive oil, a slice of whole grain toast with avocado and a boiled egg. These meals are rich in protein, fiber, and healthy fats. They support satiety, hormone balance, and steady energy. And most importantly, they avoid the inflammatory and metabolic crash that damages your blood flow and vitality. If you enjoy carbs in the morning, pair them with protein and fat. For example, if you eat oatmeal, cook it in almond milk, add protein powder or Greek yogurt, and top it with walnuts and cinnamon. This slows digestion and reduces the glucose spike. And if you drink coffee, avoid adding sugar and skip sweetened creamers. Try drinking it after you've eaten something substantial, not on an empty stomach. Coffee alone can spike cortisol and stress your system, especially when combined with sugar. The bottom line is simple. If you want better circulation, more consistent energy, and greater vitality after 60, start your day with balance, not with a sugar bomb. You've now learned 5 powerful ways to reshape your mornings. But the real power comes when you put them together into a daily habit. That's exactly what we'll walk through next. One final recap to help you take action starting tomorrow. You already know how important blood flow is for your heart, your brain, and your performance as a man. You've learned how nitrate-rich foods, healthy fats, and key nutrients like vitamin D support that process. But what if I told you there's a simple, natural spice that can help boost circulation even further, and that you probably already have it sitting in your kitchen cabinet? That spice is cinnamon. Yes, cinnamon, the same warm, sweet-smelling spice people sprinkle on oatmeal or add to coffee. It turns out that cinnamon does much more than flavor your breakfast. It has powerful vasodilating properties, meaning it helps your blood vessels relax and expand, allowing for better circulation throughout your entire body. And that includes the areas responsible for male performance and stamina. Research published in the journal Clinical Nutrition found that cinnamon supplementation improved blood pressure, glucose control, and vascular elasticity in older adults. Another study showed that cinnamon helped reduce inflammation in the lining of blood vessels, making it easier for blood to flow where it's needed, when it's needed. But here's what makes cinnamon especially interesting for men over 60. Cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity. That means your body can better process carbohydrates without the usual sugar crash. When your insulin is working efficiently, your energy stays steady, your metabolism works better, and your hormone balance, including testosterone, stays stronger. All of that adds up to better blood flow, better energy, and better confidence. Here's how to use it. Add half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon to your morning smoothie or oatmeal. Sprinkle it into your coffee or tea. Mix it with plain Greek yogurt and berries. Add it to roasted beets or sweet potatoes for a warming, savory breakfast. Option: make sure you use Ceylon cinnamon, sometimes labeled as true cinnamon. It has lower levels of a compound called coumarin, which can be harmful in high doses. Casa cinnamon, the cheaper kind sold in most grocery stores, is still safe in small amounts, but Ceylon is the better long-term choice. Cinnamon works even better when paired with healthy fats. It helps slow digestion, reduce the glucose spike from meals, and extend the release of energy throughout the morning. And there's another benefit. Cinnamon supports circulation to the brain, which means better mental clarity and mood, something many men report struggling with as they age. That foggy feeling in the morning, cinnamon helps clear it. This small addition to your breakfast routine can create a big ripple effect, improving how your blood moves, how your mind functions, and how your body responds when it matters most. You don't need large doses. Just a daily sprinkle is enough to keep your vascular system sharp, your metabolism efficient, and your energy steady. But there's still one final piece to this puzzle, and it has nothing to do with what you eat. In fact, it's something that happens hours before breakfast, something that can either boost or completely block your progress, especially when it comes to circulation and testosterone. Let's talk about that next. Most men focus only on the morning. What to eat, what to take, how to move. But what you do the night before can have just as much impact, especially on circulation, hormones, and energy down there. In fact, your morning performance often starts the night before, while you sleep. After 60, sleep becomes more fragmented. You might wake up multiple times. You may have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. And your natural hormone rhythms, including testosterone and growth hormone, start to flatten out. But here's the key most men miss. These hormones don't rise when you eat. They don't rise when you exercise. They rise while you sleep, especially in the first 3 to 4 hours of deep rest. If your evening routine is working against your sleep quality, then your body is not repairing properly. And if you're not repairing, you're not rebuilding blood vessels, not balancing hormones, and not restoring the systems that support male vitality. Let's look at the habits that hurt and the ones that help. What to avoid in the evening. Late heavy meals. Eating large amounts of food, especially carbs and fat, within 2 hours of bedtime increases insulin, elevates core temperature, and delays melatonin. Your body's too busy digesting to focus on repair. Even 1 or 2 drinks can reduce REM sleep, increase night waking, and lower testosterone levels the following morning. It might help you fall asleep faster, but it makes the sleep shallower and more disrupted. Screen time before bed. Blue light from phones and TV suppresses melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to rest. This delays deep sleep, the phase where most hormonal regeneration happens. Now let's look at the evening habits that help set the stage for better morning performance. What to add. Light, early dinner. Eat your last full meal at least 3 hours before bed. Keep it balanced. Protein, greens, and healthy fat. Think grilled salmon with spinach and olive oil, or a vegetable omelette with avocado. Magnesium-rich foods or supplements. Magnesium helps relax the nervous system, lower cortisol, and prepare the body for deep sleep. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, dark leafy greens, or a magnesium glycinate supplement 1 hour before bed can help. Mindful one. Turn off screens 60 minutes before sleep. Read, stretch, take a warm shower, or journal. These small rituals tell your nervous system it's safe to slow down. Sleep in complete darkness. Even small amounts of light can disrupt melatonin production. Use blackout curtains or a sleep mask to maximize deep sleep cycles. When you sleep well, you wake up stronger. You wake up with better blood flow, higher testosterone, more energy, and greater capacity to use all the nutrition and movement strategies we've already covered. Think of your evening as the foundation. The stronger it is, the more effective your morning becomes. You don't have to be perfect, just intentional. Even small changes. An earlier dinner, a dark room, fewer screens can translate into better performance, better mood, and better circulation the very next day. Now that you've seen the full picture, from morning habits to evening strategies, let's wrap this up and help you take action, starting tomorrow. You started this video looking for a simple way to improve circulation and energy after 60. What you found is something even more powerful, a daily rhythm that supports blood flow, hormones, clarity, and vitality from the inside out. This isn't about hacks, it's not about magic supplements or unrealistic routines. It's about giving your body the right signals, at the right time, every day. Let's recap what you've learned. You discovered the morning food that supports nitric oxide and opens your blood vessels naturally. You learned how healthy fats amplify hormone production and energy. You found out that vitamin D and zinc aren't optional. They are foundational. You saw how light movement and hydration activate circulation. You now know which common foods rob you of energy and focus before noon. You've added a powerful spiced cinnamon to help your system perform better. And you finally understand how your evening routine shapes your morning health. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start with one shift. Maybe it's swapping cereal for eggs and greens. Maybe it's drinking water before coffee. Maybe it's turning off the TV 30 minutes earlier. Small, consistent changes create powerful outcomes, especially after 60, when every decision matters more. And here's the truth no one tells you. If you feel slower, stiffer, or less confident than you used to, it doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're past your prime. It means your body needs a better rhythm, one that supports who you are now and where you want to go next. Energy, performance, clarity, and strength are not gone. They're waiting just beneath the surface for the right routine to bring them back online. That routine starts tomorrow morning. Eat for circulation, move with intention, rest like it matters, and give your body the signal that you're ready to live with strength, not just for today, but for every year ahead. If this video helped you, consider sharing it with a friend, a brother, or someone in your family who could use a boost. And if you want more science-backed videos like this, made specifically for men over 60, subscribe now. You're not alone in this journey, and you're not done yet.